The tank, which never saw combat but caused panic among our allies for several years, became the epitome of tank construction worldwide. Too pompous? Agreed, but it's the truth. During the Great Patriotic War, heavy tank was still necessary. Their task was to pierce and break through heavy fortified enemy position, attack them, and simultaneously to destroy all kinds of resistance, including enemy heavy tank. We had such tank, the Is-2, but everyone already understood that its endurance and power were no longer sufficient. In the second half of the 1944, they began to create, or rather deeply modernize the Is-2, which result in the appearance of the new machine. So, that would be correct. From this abbreviation, named after the father of nation and the great Generalissimo and General Secretary of the Central Committee of the CPSU, the head of the government, the chairman of the Council of People Commissars and Council of Ministers, comrade Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin. But initially, the machine was called, beside the implant object 703, Curious One. They even wanted to call it Victory. But initially, the machine was called, beside the implant object 703, Curious One. They even wanted to call it Victory. Be sure, the main task was for the tank to withstand the shots of the Tiger and Panther. With their German cats, there was always some problem in Russia. How to protect the tank? You can increase the armor, but you can also use your head and approach the issue creatively. We approach creatively, thankfully understanding what and how to do it. The third thing the design engineer tried to achieve was the maximum possible slope of armor everywhere, both on the hull and on the turret. The pike nose. This is a recognizable feature of the E-3 and all subsequent the heaviest Soviet tanks. Everything here is at angle, 2 upper and 1 lower. Look at the thickness of the plate. Shell bonds of them like pebbles. Of course, this is not a shell, but it's better to show it visually. The frontal armor of the tank consists of 2 armor plates, 110 mm thick, converging in the wedge at angle 56 degrees to the vertical and 43 degrees to the slope. Also, the roof of the compartment was welded at an angle of 73 degrees. In addition to everything else, the lower plate is also positioned at an angle of 63 degrees. Rational angles practically double the thickness of the armor. But the artistic quilting doesn't end here. Now open the hinge for you to see the inner sheet. 90 mm thick with reverse angle of 60 degrees. The stem is also sloped. Only the walls above the roller stand straight, but the bottom is still even. But not everything. See yourself. So you understand, the tank's body is welded, made of sheets where the word sheet is on the conditional. They are rolled, made, homogeneous armor steel with thickness 20, 30, 60, 90 and even 110 mm. The welding is so strong that it didn't crack when it hits by shells, but only in serial copies. And of course, the turret is cast, flattened, calculated in such a way that no matter where you throw it, horizontally it's always 160 mm, and for head with the mask it's something. The most powerful, of course, in front, 225 mm, had the rational angle. The shape of the turret was unique at that time. It has the shape of flattened, drop-like hemisphere. The thickness of the turret walls in the sides and stern ranged from 220 mm at the bottom to 110. The creator squashed it as much as possible to fit everything inside. By the way, due to the conditional streamlining of these three, they show good resistance to roll over when passing through the shockwave of the nuclear weapon. Next is the chassis rear-wheel drive bicycle. Again, about one side. They themselves talked about the rear guiding tooth. Next, 6 double-cast unitard sport rollers with the diameter of 550 millimeters and lessness for above. Already a rubber supporting rollers of the tank has individual torsion suspension. There is no shock absorbers. What else? The engine compartment, like that of IS-2, actually like all domestic tanks, that all back covered the top with armor plates. That's why we're showing you a slightly different engine, because these sheets need to be unscrewed and lifted with a cram. The diesel engine V54 KAS, 12 cylinders, V-shaped, with the volume of 38,880 cubic centimeters, power 520 horsepower, maximum crankshaft speed 2,000 revolutions per minute, maximum torque more than 2,200 Newton meters. The engine is the further development of the tank diesel's engine V2. Behind the engine is a multi-disc main drive friction clutch with a servo drive, mechanical 4-speed gearbox with a low gear, then 2-side turn mechanism, belt, brakes, other visible. The torque to the wheels is transmitted through the side planetary gears. And the traction show the side. So what do we see? The tanks are located inside, on the side of the engine above the truck niches. 425 liters can be supplemented with 6 March tanks, each with 90 liters. They have pneumatic locks, so if something on the fire, press button and tank will shoot off. What else I can tell you? Oh, tanks interfere with the total rotation, so the gas has to be raised in marching condition. The butter lies in this bracket. Well, it's time to get into the turret and immediately to the tank commander seat. By the way, tanks, so double hatch, sitting in the tank is very comfortable. So, here the crew of 4. The tank commander seat, where I will land now, the gunner on the right side, the loader, and somewhere in the distance, the driver mechanic. Just fabulous! The turret is cramped, as I said. The designers try to flatten it as much as possible, but at the same time, the instrumental panel was located on the left. Simply phone on the telegraph radio station TAM-PK26 for external communication, and the tank intercom telephone TP4-BIS for all crew members on the left. So I'm sitting on the loader seat, and of course I'm sitting correctly, like this. Okay, so in IS-2, separate loading. Shell were placed in these trays in a circle, and now I'll take one out. Something like that. Oh, so heavy. The cartridge cases standing everywhere, wherever they wanted, even next to the driver mechanics. Ooh, what a physical strength you need to load them. The ammunition for the gun consists of 28 rounds with armor-piercing and high-explosive fragment shells. Additionally, the tank equipped with cartridge for the tank machine gun DKM 2000 rounds, and the Shika M mounted on the top of the turret. There are 300 cartridges in 6 belt or 50 rounds each. Plus, there are 25 F1 and RG-42 grenades and 2 Pepper-Shot 43 submachine guns with thousands around them. The gun is 122mm ton gun D25T of the 1943 model. Specifically, this bottle is from 1945. It has a horizontal wedge breech block. And everything works but not shooting. At most film, the tanks are practically virtual. Not exactly storage condition, but something has been preserved. For example, the bundle of pouches for the fuses is still there, and it's even written fuses on them. The antenna set is complete. Even a canvas holster for the pistol is hanging there. The spacious device is installed. But the most important thing, comrades, this is I'm about to show you. And this thing, there is it, will go with me. A bit later. The gunner cycling device, manual gun control, anti-rotation, then electronic one is switched on. Behind is the fan for exhausted gases. There's more than enough space. Fire. Driver mechanics seats is a big thing. Here, unlike the E2, there is a hedge. But when the gun is pointed straight like this, right, getting in for their overgrowths like me physically is impossible. Please excuse me, it's not a very professional feat, but what won't you do to show you something? So, I'm in. If later I'll tell you that it's comfortable for me in the E3 tank, don't believe me. Yes, there is plenty of room in the shoulders, deep before they haven't installed chargers, shells on their sides yet, but with this seat position, I don't know how I'll manage. On the right side there is a gear shift lever, hand thrower, mass. Here are two controls levers. On the right side are the hour meters, RPM gauge. On the left is the panel with the various switchers, signal and priming. Priming diesel. I haven't even gone anywhere and I'm already tired. And here the instrument light for you, like in Formula 1. There are two clutches on the pedals which are heavily pressed. Accelerator. And now actually the most interesting thing, why did I bring you these things? Oh, what's this? It's so heavy! And not only it is heavy, but you can't see anything. Well, in the position of the marching embryo, we start the engine. By the way, DDC here for external studying, there is exactly the same clamp on the Czechoslovakian Prague. It's a for dry. Okay, we turn on mass, adjust it at a little manual throttle, RPMs on the right side, the oil pressure and start to button. We press the oil pressure, look into the distance to see the 5 and without releasing, press the start. 520 horsepower, that's a lot. I don't take off like the rocket, of course, but it accelerates very confidently. Combat weight 29 tons, but you don't feel it inside in the vehicle. But outside it hears everything and ground trembles for the weight and your ears. Do you want to know how much fuel the tank consumes? No, guzzles fuel. There's 90 meters per hour on the solid ground, maximum speed 40 kilometers per hour. Oh, what's your head? So, calculate how many liters per 100 kilometers. E3, as you understand, is a heavy tank. Its body length is almost 7 meters, and if you count with the gun, it's all 10 meters. The weight of the tank is also not small, 3,390 millimeters, but the height for such a impressive machine is less than 2.5 meters. For comparison, the modern T-72 is 2,190 millimeters. Control. Gear shifting, you need to get used to it. Changing to higher gear is not difficult, but changing to a lower gear is more difficult. Turning with the levers and braking delivers on oneself. And if there is no ice, you stop. It's not cramped in driver's compartment on the way. Don't listen to whatever anyone told you before. I'm sitting right in the middle, so I feel the dimensions. Well, left, right, behind, I don't know. I don't see anything there. By the way, ideally the emblem of the tank troops in Russia, like a cooperative, wanted to display the E3. Honestly, the backside doesn't even fit in the seat. These tankers are narrow hippers. The first time foreign allies saw the Soviet E3 was at the Berlin parade of the Allies forces in honor of the victory in World War II on September 7, 1945. And this made an indelible impression on the Western allies of the USSR in the anti-Hitler coalition and for several years became a standard for the world tank. E3 did not participate in combat operation neither in Germany nor in Japan. It just didn't have time. The other conflicts were not so significant and the combat vehicles couldn't fully demonstrate itself. Dear fans of rare Russian riders, we are hungry to create more riveting content for you, and we are running low on rocket fuel with support. He keeps being playing hard to get playlists, lashing his on our fresh wits, even though you folks gobble them like hot cakes. So, comrades, let us hand. We're just 150 subscribers away from unlocking the monetization treasure chest. Spread the word, share this video with your pals, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell like it's all your money. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, consider sponsoring us on Boosty or Patreon. It's a win-win. You get the warm fuzzies and we get to keep the content engine chugging. Remember, it's not a rocket science. Just a few clicks to help us soar. Your support means the world to us. Until our next rendezvous, stay curious, stay awesome. Write in the comments about which car you are looking forward to the next year.